In this first look video, we are going to check out a solution called AirWP Sync, which is an Airtable to WordPress synchronization tool. So in this case, you may want to work from within your Airtable workspace and your bases and have your data there that you maintain, but then sync that over to your WordPress website rather than poking around in your WordPress dashboard. So if that's something you might be interested in, this video, I would definitely continue watching here. So this is a first look video. For the solution. WP Connect is the company behind it. They are a partner of InfluenceWP. And if you go to influencewp.com/partners, you can sign up for your own free partner membership for life. And I'll do videos just like this or other types of videos for you as part of that partnership. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to poke around the website here for the product. Then we're going to look at the solution itself and actually try to implement a sync. Okay. This is a first look video. So let me do a quick bit of housekeeping before we jump in. First look videos cover solutions that we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how a new customer might experience their product or service for the very first time. It also shows customers like how we experience a product or service for the very first time. If we face any issues, how we work through those. If we can offer any best practices, we will offer those up. These videos are unedited. We click record and publish whatever comes out. These are not official tutorial videos, although they do contain tutorial aspects. These videos contain no affiliate links, and we are not sponsored. We're not paid to create videos like this. And like I said, if you want videos like this or other types of videos created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners. It's totally free. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the product page here. So WPConnect.co would be the website you go to. And then under the nav up here, go under our menus and Airtable to WordPress. So that brings us here. Looks like they've got a demo link there. But as I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. You build an Airtable, sync to WordPress. So this isn't a bi-directional sync. This is just a one-way sync from Airtable over to your WordPress website. And you can use the free version of Airtable for this. If you ever hit limitations, it will be on the Airtable side of things. The free version of Airtable does have a limit on their free tier as to how many records that you can have, but it's pretty generous. Okay. So yeah, ideal situations, any website, blog, real estate website, job boards, directory listings, and so on and so forth. Okay, we'll skip the directions and stuff like that because we're going to actually look at this live together and see how it works. Got the pricing there. They do have a free option, so you can have one connection. Looks like limited features. I'm not sure what that means. Which features are included? Maybe there's a comparison somewhere in here. Oh yeah, compare plans. There we go. But you can absolutely check this out for free. It looks like 14-day money back guarantee. Oh, here we go. Okay, so what are the main things here? So it looks like if you need custom post type support, that wouldn't be in free. WooCommerce product types, that wouldn't be in free. Custom fields. Okay, kind of get the idea. And then third-party integrations is limited to Translate Press and Weglot at this time. Okay, that gives you a good idea of what's in free and what's not. What else? Okay, we've got some articles. We've got some tutorials. I'm going to check tutorials. I'm going to check documentation. I want to check the changelog. I want to check about the company. Looks like they have an affiliate program if that's something that you're interested in. Let's check out contact and support. Okay, so they have a number of tutorials here. I would like to see these broken down by product type. So up here somewhere, kind of like a filter like this. If you need tutorials for AirWP Sync, for example, click that little toggle and we only see articles based on that. Looks like we've got some documentation here. Okay, so some good documentation. Go to the change logs, and we're going to look at, so they got 3 separate change logs for each plugin. or for each tier, I should say. So let's go to the Pro Plus. That's what we're going to be working with today. Okay. I would like to see dates in the changelog. That is a pet peeve of mine. So that would be cool to see, because that way you can see like when the stuff came out. It's very helpful to people, especially um, those that are just wanting to see how active the development is going, but also as someone who provides website care, just keeping up with those dates and the versions is important. The versions are there, but the dates are also important. About WP Connect. Okay, we can put a face with the name here. Here's Stefan, who I have had numerous conversations with. Great gentleman. CEO, as you see here, and then you can see they've got a pretty hefty team. Talented, no doubt. Stefan, I would love to see the InfluenceWP listed here. If you're watching this, or anybody on your team, it'd be great to see us listed here. What else? Contact support. It's like they make it pretty easy to get a hold of them, and they've got a chat bubble here in the bottom right. All right, good stuff. Let's go ahead and close all of this down. I'm going to move the documentation screen, tab over to my other screen just in case we need it here. All right, so I've got that pulled up. All right. So when I asked Stefan, is there anything that I should know before I dive in? I've started asking partners that because in the past, there's been roadblocks that I would hit, and it's just, it's better for everyone if there's like anything special that I need to know before I do these first look videos and see this for the very first time. And one of the things that he mentioned was it's best practice to create everything on the Airtable side first before you create it in WordPress. That said, they are coming out, I think, in the next version with an option to clear cache. So what I mean by that is if you do create it on the WordPress side first, and then you go create your Airtable, there may be a caching issue. So they're going to make it so it clears all that cache so you can sync all of your fields and whatnot. But for now, until that new version comes out, they recommend you create it your data in Airtable first before you do anything in WordPress. Okay. So we're gonna test. I thought an easy test would be to create users. Okay. So let's say I thought of a hypothetical situation. Let's say we want to populate some authors. And set up their role. Obviously, they're authors, right? So I'm in Airtable. I have a free account, just a free test account here, and I'm going to add a blank base here to our workspace. Okay, so we've got our free base here. We'll call this authors. Okay, the first thing we want to do, we're talking about WordPress users here, so I'm going to call this username. Would be like the pinnacle here. It's like the main thing. Username, single line text. That's cool. Let's change this notes column to first name. Change this to be single line of text as well. Let's change this column to be last name, single line of text. And let's set this one to be email address. The type of field is going to be email. Let's make one more column, and we're going to call this role. And for this, we can do, let's just pretend like we're just going to do one role per user. I mean, you can do multiple roles with WordPress, but if you have a particular like code snippet or solution in place, but we're just going to do single select for this. And I'm going to create an option called author. And you can go in here and you could do like subscriber, the typical WordPress roles. You could do customer and so on and so forth. So let's create that field. Okay, there we go. So we got username, first name, last name, email address, and role. Let's go ahead and roll with that. Okay, so username, let's do author1. And I don't know how to I should know this by now, but I don't know how to, like in Excel, like fill down and increase the values, but I'm going to try. Yeah. I'm not sure how to do it. I have to learn how to do that. But for now, let's just do it this way. Okay, I'm just going to fill these in real quick. Let's just do this. Let's do author. Yeah, let's do it this way. Author 2, and then we'll just do A1 is their last name. Nothing fancy. A2, A3, email address, author1 at iwp.com. Let's just go ahead and fill that down. Change that to a 2, change this one to a 3. You get the idea. Okay, there we go. Role, we're going to do author. So select author from the dropdown. Let's fill that down. There we go. So we're ready. We're going to try to create 3 authors syncing from our Airtable over to our WordPress site. Okay. Before we do that, let's jump over to WordPress. All I've done before this video, I've installed AirWP Sync and applied my license key. Let's go over to settings. Yeah, so all we got there is the license key, and that's just a test key. Steal it if you want, but it's just a test key. Let's go to add new for add new connection. IWP authors. Let's call it IWP authors. Access token. All right. Make sure your token has, so it looks like you need to assign some rights and permissions. All right, so hovering over the helper icon there, create access token from here, okay? Let's open this in a new tab. Okay. Make sure your token has the data records read and schema bases read scopes. Okay, create token. Personal access tokens are required to use the Airtable API. This token will grant access to the data in the selected workspaces and bases. Okay, let's just call this something unique for now, IWP authors. I'd have to think about this more long-term, but let's add that as the name of our personal access token. And the reason I'm thinking about this you'd want to think about this long-term is what if you need to revoke a key, right? You don't want to just have one key for everything. So I'm going to call this IWP authors. Let's add a scope. So they wanted data records read, and they wanted base schemas read, schema base read. All right. Okay. Access. This token can access the following bases and workspaces. Okay. Add a base. Here we go. This is our author's base. And let's click create token. Let's copy that token. Let's go back to WordPress. Let's paste that token in that we created. Okay, that looks like that worked. Here's our base. Here's our table. So if we go into our base name is authors. Our table is just called table 1. So you could get more creative on that if you wanted. View, let's just go with the default view here until there's a reason why we shouldn't. And let's go with all other defaults here. Import as, okay, let's change from post to user. Default role. Oh, you can set a default role here. Interesting. Okay. So I maybe I didn't even need to do this right here. Well, yeah, okay. We'll just continue on. Send user notification. Oh, that's cool. So if their email address is in the table, I assume it's just going to go and just automatically send that out. Let's do this. For author 1, let's actually put in my address. We'll see. So hello at InfluenceWP.com. No, that's not going to, yeah, that'll work. I don't think I have an account with that in there yet. That brings up another good point. Let's go to users just to show there's what users are in here. Yeah, I do have this in here. So I'll put I'll put the Gmail address in here for InfluenceWP. Hold on one second. Just to see if this does in fact fire off the email. That would be super, super cool. So what's my address here? It is there. Okay, cool. So we've got that in there. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll here, I think. Default role is author. So let's just take this out. Let's take author out of here. There we go. All right. Come down here. Now we've got to map our fields. So this is what I was saying earlier, is that you want to create this at this time in the Airtable side of things. So we created an Airtable first, and then we come over here. Once they release that caching, clear caching, then my understanding is you could have come over here in WordPress and set this up first. It kind of makes sense anyway to set it up on the Airtable side first anyway. But yeah, there's that. Okay, let's go to field mapping, add new field. Okay, so here's our fields. So that's really cool. So it's lining up exactly with our Airtable base. So username, import as a WordPress username. Let's add another field. First name, we're going to import as first name. You get the idea here. I'll just go ahead and fill all of these in real quick. We're going to skip role because I want to see what that does. Let's see here. Okay, now we have the sync strategy. So we can add, update, and delete, or we can just add an update, or we can just add. So this is going to determine, like, if, like, say for example, a record already exists, what should we do with it, type of thing. So we can do a manual trigger, which is what we're going to do here. So once you set that, disables automatic. Okay, that makes sense. Reoccurring, enable reoccurring synchronization of your Airtable content. Choose a frequency and it will take. So that's cool. You could set this on an automation schedule, or you can also use a webhook there. So very, very cool stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and publish this. Again, going back to our users, we just have my account, my admin account in there. And let's click sync now. Okay, it says it was successful. Let's go over to our dashboard. Let's refresh. There we go. There we go. There we go. We see the role is now author. So it set that by default. So we didn't need to do that in our Airtable base if we didn't want to. And we see the email address is set, the name. First name is set, last name is set. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so I'm over in my Gmail, which I put in right here. Put that in. That could have gone to a number of places. I'm just checking here through my email. I've not done anything with this Gmail account, so it could probably in spam or somewhere. I've got like, those in Gmail by default, you've got like primary, promotion, social, and all of that. So who knows where this thing could have gone, or if it went anywhere at all. I don't see it in spam. I don't see it in trash. I don't know. Maybe it just didn't do anything, and maybe I'm misunderstanding what that is supposed to do here. Send user notification. Send the new user an email about their account. Okay. So I'll reach out to WP Connect about that and just ask them if that's supposed to work that way. It could be I'm misunderstanding. But yeah, that is that, and that is super cool. So especially not just because you got the manual sync, but just think about like the automation. So you never, if you love to work in Airtable like I do, maybe you don't want to take the time to get out of Airtable and then switch over to your WordPress dashboard and manually enter all the stuff in, when you could come in here and just, bulk add stuff in here, and then run it on a schedule, update your site. Just very, 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 very exciting stuff. And once again, this is, let's go over here, WP Connect, wpconnect.co. Go into our plugins, go to Airtable for WordPress. And as you see here, they have the same feature, but for something else for WooCommerce specifically. Notion to WordPress, Time Tonic for WordPress. I'm not even really sure what Time Tonic is, but as you can see, they're doing very, very cool stuff. Check out their deal on InfluenceWP.com. Go to InfluenceWP.com/deals to get your AirWP Sync exclusive deal. Hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you in the next one.